In this issue of Mountain Bike Chronicles, we are in Norway for the last stop of the UCI Downhill World Cup in Hafjell. We visit Canada's leading talent, Steve Smith, at home where he's enjoying downtime and preparing for a long race season. We're on site as a new mountain bike track is being built. All this and much more in this edition of Mountain Bike Chronicles. Today, few would argue that Steve Smith is the best downhill mountain biker in Canada, but few know of his chance beginnings in the sport.
My very first bike, I was about 5 years old and my grandma worked out a deal with a guy we knew. He had a lot of BMX bikes and she made a deal that if he got free pie for an entire year, I'd get a free bike. And then it kind of led from there. I started racing a little bit and the bikes got better and better. Well, yeah, when I was a junior, I'd gone to World Champs and I'd started seeing guys that were doing it full-time as their job and racing the World Cup circuit. And as soon as I knew people were doing that, that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, when I was about 15, 16, I guess, that was when I made it my goal. And I didn't really know exactly if I could do it or not until I was doing it.
Every spring, the 22-year-old departs from his home in Vancouver Island to compete against the best riders in the Mountain Bike Downhill World Cup.
Yeah, I'm used to it now, just packing up, and all my family just know that time of the year. It's kind of, you say goodbye and I'll see you in a little while. Just try to be in contact with family and the girlfriend and just stay positive, and traveling's always fun.
In idyllic Hafjell, Norway, the last of 7 races in the UCI Downhill World Cup takes place. The winner in the overall World Cup has been already determined. Champion Aaron Quinn is present at the race only as a spectator.
Yeah, it was actually a first day of practice. I just had a pretty big crash in the rock section, and I don't know, a bit of a bummer. I was definitely feeling good, looking forward to having some fun this race, but that's the way it goes, and I guess it could be a lot worse.
Second place in the overall ranking is yet to be decided, with 2 rivals in contention. G. Atherton trails the South African Greg Minnaar, knowing this event decides the final rankings. G starts first, and his mission is clear. The fastest one at the end of this race will take second place in the UCI Mountain Bike Downhill World Cup. G's run is good, and for the time being, he's in the lead. Home in Vancouver Island, Steve Smith enjoys every minute away from racing.
Depends on the time of year, but during the race season, if I have a week at home, I do as much as I can. Really, it's good to be home, go out on the moto and fish and just basically enjoy home time.
The relaxed life comes to an end when the summer is over. Then the Canadian will be dedicated to his hard training program in preparation for a long downhill World Cup season.
Wintertime, it can be quite miserable out, so it's easy to put the head down and just focus on training. And yeah, when spring comes around, I just spend as much time I can on my bike along with my training. So it really just depends on the weather throughout the winter and how I approach things.
His roots lie in mountain bike sport. The 22-year-old will probably never leave this path.
Who knows what I'll do after, but I don't ever want to just cut mountain biking out of my life. I love it, and I'd like to ride a bike until I die.
Hafjell enters a decisive phase, the duel for second place in the overall mountain bike downhill World Cup ranking. G. Atherton has made his contribution already and is still in the lead. The Swiss Nick Baer wants to change that and starts with vigor.
Decided to back it off and not sprint down the line. So what has Nick Baer got for us this afternoon? Thinking engage, a big afternoon game team manager.
His run is good, but not good enough to knock G from the top. For now, he congratulates him on the lead. Now G's biggest rival, Greg Minnaar, is ready to go. Greg must take the lead to secure second place in the overall World Cup rankings. His run does not look good in the middle section. He's behind. In the lower part, he again gives everything and secures the lead, and second place in the World Cup overall. On the east coast of the United States, Steve Smith achieved his best ever World Cup result during July this year.
Yeah, Wyndham was good. It was my best World Cup result yet. I've been on a bunch of podiums, but I still haven't. It was the first time I cracked the top three. I've had lots of fourths and fifths, so I got second there, and it was tight, and it was definitely good. It was good for the confidence.
So, Stevie Smith, Mixed Global Racing, it's Canada Day, and he would love to deliver a result today here in it's not being done from Steve, it's not even come down the line, he's got it.
2 months later, he continued his good form at the World Championships in Austria.
World Champs at Leogang were good as well. Everybody's obviously trying full tilt. It's not a series, and consistency, it's a one-off race. Just you really want to win it, and that's kind of what counts. And yeah, I felt like I had a good run and everything, and I finished third, so to be on the podium at Worlds I'm pumped and would love to win, but you know, better be on the podium than nothing. The better I do, the better I want to do, and the more I expect from myself. So it kind of feel the same always, whether I'm thinking about when I was a junior and I was coming to World Cups just trying to qualify. I don't think the pressure's changed since from then till now, where now I'm trying to win and trying to be on that podium.
The boom of mountain bike sport always requires the construction of new tracks. The most famous of these trails are built into the mountain in Whistler. This trend also is spilling into Europe, where more and more routes are built. This year in Zillertal, Austria, a new modern mountain bike trail has been created. The course was planned 2 years ago. Implementing the plan required some key considerations: topography, and how the ecological conditions adapt and affect a wide range of terrains. Also, to prevent erosion, special places where water collects are also used to treat the course.
At the beginning of the last part during the construction of the trail, we encountered 2 springs. It was very important to us that we solve this problem, because if we would have left it like this, then the trail over time would have no longer been passable. Even in heavy rain, the train would have slipped, so we decided to build a drainage.
For drainage, a flow strip is designed and then coarse gravel tipped over in order to ensure the flow of water. The final process is to compact the earth to increase the density of the soil. Only after a winter is the route then stable and ready to roll. In Hafjell, the top riders are at the start. George Brannigan has been a surprise in qualifying. The New Zealander starts well and is in the lead. He keeps pace until the finish and takes the lead sensationally. Only Steve Smith is left at the top. He starts explosively.
World Championships. Just a couple of weeks back, one of the real big hitters now on the World Cup scene on the car version of Wilson there on Da Vinci bike.
He does well in the technical sections.
Version, but Smith man, he's going to be hungry for this afternoon.
In the lower section, he utilizes all of his skill and digs deep to celebrate his first victory in the World Cup.
It's by less than half a second. Oh, look at the time from Stevie Smith.
Yeah, I'm so happy right now. I've never won a World Cup before. It's been a dream of mine. The track's running so fast, but didn't feel like I could go any faster because the headwind was so hard, but everybody had the same, and holy man, I'm stoked.
Aaron Gwynn also has cause for celebration as the overall World Cup champion.
Definitely a really awesome year for me. I can't complain, man. It's been great. Congrats to Stevie. That was really cool to see.
After the season finale in Hafjell, Aaron Gwynn is presented as the overall winner of the UCI Downhill World Cup. In second place is Greg Minnaar, followed by G. Atherton. In the next issue of Mountain Bike Chronicles, we come to the final of the FMB World Tour. Utah hosts the prestigious freeride event, the Red Bull Rampage. All this and much more in the next issue of Mountain Bike Chronicles.